Le directeur.
The parliamentary budget officer this week criticized the fact that the government decided that it's not worth going after the $15 billion in overpayments to big corporations that they received for salary help. That's money that they should not have received. That's money that's coming out of the pockets of Canadians. It's the equivalent of $1,000 for every Canadian family. When will the Prime Minister finally go get the money that was illegally given to these major corporations? The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, I'll remind the Honourable Member, and he has access to it, that's the public record. Last week at the Public Accounts Committee, the Commissioner of the CRA made clear that verification work with respect to determining eligibility for the various COVID emergency programs is ongoing. It was the CRA public employees who in a very focused way, helped to administer the various programs in place during COVID, and it's them now that are carrying out the vital verification work. This work is taken seriously. It's fiscally responsible approach. He voted for it. Let's continue.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, no, the Prime Minister's top tax collector, Bob Hamilton, the Commissioner of CRA, said, quote, it wouldn't be worth the effort to review and recover every of the $15.5 billion paid out illegally to these corporations. Wouldn't be worth the effort. $15 billion equals $1,000 for every single household in Canada. Wow. Money taken from working-class single moms who can't feed their kids and given to wealthy corporations with connections to this government. Why won't they take back the money that was illegally taken and give it back to Canadians?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, the opposition leader talks about Canadians. Where was he at the height of the pandemic when Canadians needed their government? He was talking about an austerity agenda. He was talking about cuts. He wasn't behind the various programs that helped to sustain this country. The work of the CRA continues, as I mentioned before. It's ongoing. It is serious. It's focused. In fact, you should check the record. In November of 2020, it was he and his party that voted to stop that work on the part of the CRA. Thank you very much.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
That's absolutely false. Where was I? I was in this House telling the government that they shouldn't pay wage subsidies to corporations that were wealthy enough to pay out dividends, bonuses, and share buybacks. That's where I was. And now we find out that it gets worse, that there were 37 corporations that received the wage subsidy worth $81 billion who paid out dividends to their wealthy shareholders. This was not money for workers. It was money for the wealthy. Why is it this government always gives more to the have-yachts by taking from the have-nots?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of National Revenue.
Mr. Speaker, again, when it comes to vital COVID programs that help to keep businesses going, he was against all of that. The key fact about the wage subsidy is that small businesses and medium-sized businesses in particular were kept going throughout the pandemic. That's what we have to keep in mind. In fact, when it comes to the vital avoidance work and evasion work that the CRA carries out, the Conservatives cut the CRA budgets. It couldn't do that work effectively. In 2015 and onwards, we've invested in the CRA to carry out avoidance work, to carry out evasion work. Investigations are up, as are criminal convictions and time spent in jail among those convicted. Thank you very much.